You're listening to Real Talk All Sport. If you are listening on Spotify, thank you so much. And you can hear us and see us both on there, which is good. If you are watching on YouTube, you're watching on Mr. B Productions -WAL. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do now, because what that can do is help support the pod and get more eyes and ears onto it. So if you are on it and you haven't subscribed, come on. Thank you, Nathan. So today we have a real special occasion on the pod, don't we? This is class. Yeah. I kind of wish I started recording about 30 minutes ago.
I mean, for the sake of both of our careers, I think we're quite glad you didn't.
So, with introduction like that, so
just take a look.
Comedian, podcaster, and regular on the Comedy Club on Radio 4 Extra, Esyllt Sears. You're a really big football fan.
I am,
which is awesome because...
Thank God,
so
otherwise this would be really awkward right now. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I love rugby.
Yeah, but it's nice to have another fan alongside me to quiz the footballer in the middle. A few just quick fire questions, just so we know where you'd be if you were a footballer. Left-footed or right-footed?
Oh, right-footed, but I do practice with both. So I actually play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather prefer to play for club or country?
Oh, country.
Nice.
No, that's you can't have that.
What do you mean?
Because you can't play for country if you don't have a club.
That's okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No one just plays for Wales.
I understand the process, but that wasn't the question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It
So
brings
what
out
would be your
combos.
preferred club?
You get those occasional random free agents who are just class. I'm thinking like Alioski for North Macedonia. He never plays for a club.
Yeah, but
I could do that.
Yeah.
just turn up on the day.
Who would your club be?
Well, I used to support Everton. Everton was my club when I was in school because there were loads of Welsh players playing for them at the time. So you had Southall, you had Barry Horn, you had Speed, you had John Oster. And also, and also there was a boy in school I really fancied who supported Everton, so I thought, I'll go for that. Yeah.
If you were called up for an international, or as you're playing now, what number are you picking?
Oh, I'm a glory hunter, so whichever
10.
one gets, because I don't even if
confident.
Even if I miss goals, I love the drama of not scoring as well, like head in your hands, like cursing.
And everyone looking at each other going,
yes, that. Yeah. So whatever gets me on TV.
No, it's not a drama for me not scoring. That's it.
Yeah, just get back and defend, Cam.
Yeah. I missed a sitter on Monday. It was awful. It went straight down the middle to the keeper with no power on it either.
Oh no!
So it was a back pass, basically.
What are you blaming it on? You blaming it on the heat?
Yeah. It was tropical. Honestly,
yeah.
Nathan talks about this.
So his face changed quick. I've got a way out.
Yeah. Nathan talks about this warm weather training. It's just a load of rubbish. Okay. If you're going to the Cardiff City Stadium to watch a Wales game, what are you ordering from the bar, food and drink?
Annoyingly, I usually take my kids with me, so I'm not drinking. But I do love to get some chips or some nuggets, something like that. Yeah. And in the winter, a hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Nice. Not a bottle.
That costs about 30 quid.
Yeah, especially if I'm buying for the kids as well.
It's a day out, isn't it?
Absolute nightmare.
Astronomical.
I know, but you get it for free though, right? If you're in.
I just don't eat. Especially the Cardiff City
you must
Stadium.
Get something.
No, ex-Welsh player, ex-Cardiff player, you get zero.
You serious?
I am deadly serious. Look at my face. See a joke on it?
Yeah. I remember when he told me he was fuming.
No, you don't get nothing.
Oh my God, because I've been sending my kids to football lessons in the hope that they'll play for someone and I'll get to go and enjoy
food.
that. Yeah.
If you're in the VIP.
Okay. Do mums get to go to the VIP?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll cash in then.
If your son or daughter is on the pitch.
Okay.
No, actually, that's a bit of a lie because then all the parents would be in VIP and they aren't.
Right.
They're on level 4 for Welsh games or level 3 of the stadium.
Explain this to me. So where is that? Where are they sitting?
So you you sit in the main stand. So you think you've got the dugout
Yeah.
and players. Then you've got like the level where the press box is.
Yeah.
Then you've got a tier just above that, a smaller
Okay.
tier. You have it in there or the next tier up.
Right. Oh, so they're not in a box then.
No, no.
It's been a complete waste of my time.
Yeah. I'm going to send those kids to rugby.
Final, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Can't stand the guy.
Oh, no. Wah, wah, warning. Wah, wah.
Well, out of those 5 questions, I'd say you've got at least 4 right in those ones then. So I know I'm a big Messi fan as well. And club or country? I would have picked country. I would have loved to have been left-footed as well. I think left-footers
Yeah.
have it so good.
Yeah.
Why? I'm left-footed.
Because
Are you?
Yeah.
as a left-footer, everyone, even if you're not that good in the Sunday league, you're starting. You're always
Yeah,
starting.
there is that.
And
if you're a left back or a left centre back, and you're left-footed, you're rare.
Yeah, and left-footers are just... A good right foot is great. A good left foot is beautiful. And I'd love to be able to just ping stuff. And every person who's got a left foot and plays football just has that ping in them.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be so cool to
I
be
think I can
left-footed.
teach you that.
Because I think it has to do with rewiring your brain a bit because I started playing like 2.5 years ago. I started playing down with the Cardiff Vets, and they're amazing. I haven't been this year because I've been too busy, but I will be back next year. And they really help you to kind of, when you're doing drills and stuff like that, they really try and get you to focus on using your left foot if you're not left-footed and stuff. And it was almost as if I could feel something changing in my brain when I was using my left foot. So I think it's kind of creating that kind of habit to it.
Yeah. So I was right-footed as a kid
Okay.
and wanted to get in the A team in junior school. I was second year. I was about 8. They didn't have a left-sided player. So I went home practicing my left foot, come back next day, ripped it up and played for the A team when I was like second year.
And so then was there a point where you thought, I'm no longer predominantly right, I am predominantly left?
Never really thought about it till I was probably about 16 and starting to go into pro football. But then was always a left-sided player from that day forward. That's why people say I can't do keepy-ups. I can do keepy-ups, obviously, with both feet, but I never start with my left foot. So predominant players will always... So I'll take my first touch with my left foot or my right foot. But if you say to me, keep a ball up, I'll drag it with my right foot and start always my right foot.
Okay.
Do your feet look different? Like if you've got bare feet, do they look different? Do they look the same?
One's left and one's right.
Okay.
I've not got 2 left feet, if that's what you're asking me.
That's a fair point.
I haven't got
I
2
didn't
left
think
feet.
about it like that.
Yeah, because I've just been running in a circle with that. Right to the left-hand side. Here he goes again.
That would be absolutely disgusting to have 2 of the same foot.
So yeah, they are slightly different.
Sure, yeah. Next question.
Going on to the next one. So growing up in Aberystwyth,
Yeah.
so that's your home. Where did your love of sport come from then? If you're an Everton supporting Aberystwyth girl, and in terms of teams, your closest team is probably your
Aberystwyth.
Yeah, as in
Or professional.
as in like in that kind
the
of Premier
football
League that you
league.
grew up watching
Yeah.
on the TV.
Yeah, so it's my parents. So both my dad and my mum are sport fanatics. Like my dad has sports on the TV, like other people have the radio on. It doesn't really matter what it is. Like it'd be
Tennis, football,
or a
golf,
random
rugby.
American league something.
Yeah.
Or other.
Australian rules.
Yeah. I've seen it all.
Yeah. You need that to get on.
Completely.
I can just sit there and go, watch. Oh, yeah.
But like my mum is more of a details person, so she could like everyone who plays for Wales, for example, she'll know how old they are, she'll know which village they're from, like she has all the details. She'd be a really good statistician statistician, I think.
I'm just launching an app now.
The
almanac, right?
Yes,
the almanac,
yeah. But so between them, there was always sports on. We were always made anything that was on that had Welsh people playing or competing. We had to watch it. Again, it didn't matter how obscure it was. But then that meant, you know, like during the 90s especially, athletics in Wales was having an incredible time. So we used to get, you know, we used to stay up and watch like the Olympics really late, and we'd see Colin Jackson and Ewan Thomas and people like this. And so it's always been ingrained in us. Like if Wales is involved, we're supporting them.
Yeah, you've got to,
yeah.
Well, there's only 3 million of us, right?
Well,
so you've got to, I always say it's difficult because we're really small for a country.
Yeah, and I think especially in the 90s, because we weren't very big on like an international stage with anything really. And because we were still having to compete in certain things as Britain and things like that, it didn't feel in sport like we could really break through properly unless it was rugby. So anything that meant, I mean, Colin Jackson, if he won something and then someone gave him a Welsh flag and he could run around the track with the Welsh flag, like that was it.
That was like legendary.
Oh, just incredible. Yeah. But to be such a proud Welsh person as well when he was, you know, competing for Britain. So then, anything like that. But then I've got 2 sisters and a brother who are also mad into sports, mad into football. So yeah, it was just always a...
So did you play a lot of sport in school?
Yeah, because you said you've been playing for 2.5 years now.
Yes. So
before then?
Yeah, so with football, I started playing football because I was really jealous of my daughter. Because she's been playing football since she was like 4.
Okay.
She's a really good defender. Like, she is 90% muscle and she doesn't care about getting hurt. She's really good. And I felt really envious that she could play football and I had to play hockey and netball. And
that was it, girls' sports in schools. There was that in my day. I think most girls played hockey, netball. You might have got tennis.
Yeah, maybe tennis and some rounders. So
rounders
was a thing.
Right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I used to love rounders because it was usually in the summer, and we'd get to play with the boys. And it got really competitive, and I used to love that because I'm a massive.
I just didn't like that little bat.
Oh yeah.
I like the baseball bat.
Yeah, because when you hit something with that, it feels so satisfying. Yeah. I love that, and the noise it makes as well. It's like a real thud.
Yeah.
I feel there's always a risk of flinging it as well. And if you let go, you're also going to be knocking out the rest of your guys.
A little handle on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
A little string.
So you don't hold that because if you have to chuck it.
That's.
But I was actually quite a good sprinter in school.
Okay.
I competed on county level. Thank you very much. Yeah. 100 metres.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're quick then.
I was quick.
So your daughter will have those sort of.
Yeah, my daughter and my son are quite good at running. Yeah, but then their dad is a really good long distance runner as well.
So they got speed, endurance.
Speed and endurance. Whoa. Yeah, I know. It's a perfect combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
With your earliest memories and influences growing up with sport, what is your kind of first football game you saw, or first that you remember, first game you went to? I thought, this is a bit of me. This is something that I want to be doing on my Saturday afternoons and evenings, Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I think my weakness is I'm really bad at remembering dates and names. So I can see stuff, but I can't necessarily recall it. So I used to go to watch some football games with school. So when I went to high school, when I was 12, I remember coming down to Cardiff to watch Wales versus Germany. And Klingsman was playing.
Was that the 1-0?
Yes.
Rushy scored?
Yeah. That was incredible.
Long ball over the top, rushing through. Beats the keeper, end of, and then just defend.
Absolutely amazing. Defend. And the thing is, at the time as well, just to see someone like Klingsman as well, because it was a name that, boys on the yard especially would talk about constantly, and people wanted to be Klingsman when they were playing.
You see him playing, and Klingsman finishes, goal.
So that was really cool. But I do remember, the Paul Borden non-goal, and so there's loads of stuff like that.
Scars.
Yeah, it's scars. It is scars. And it's all the tournaments that we didn't go to that then we had to endure listening to England bang on about their games. And I think growing up in Wales as well, you'd go into supermarkets and it was just England stuff all the time. So like
that happened
everywhere.
recently, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was a thing recently where
It was Lucozade, yeah. And it said like support. It was like support
England
support.
in a Welsh, and the girls are there.
Yeah, and it's like now you can't get away with that now. But in the 90s, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So yes,
Well, you couldn't get a Welsh shirt.
No, you couldn't. No,
Couldn't buy a Welsh shirt.
No.
In
Well,
Wales.
until a few years ago, you couldn't get like a Wales women shirt
if
you wanted to. Because I remember looking for one for my daughter, and until this tournament, because I mean, I think. They've got the best shirt, like the mint green one. Oh my God.
It's nice,
it's
isn't it?
beautiful.
Yeah.
My son and my daughter has one.
Well, for many years, the Welsh woman couldn't get a Welsh kit.
I've heard about this. I interviewed Kath Hughes once. Just for the record, I love Kath Hughes. I would do anything for that woman. And I interviewed her and she was talking to me about what they endured.
Yeah.
Did you have to lend your kit to the women's team?
We never got told what was happening with our kit.
So we would just go and come back.
Yeah, it was probably. But I grew up on an estate because I'm an Ely boy, Cardiff, and I moved to Newport as a kid and moved to an estate called Ringland. Well, Underwood first, then a estate called Ringland. And across from me, there used to be a footballer, a female footballer. Her name was Wendy Talib.
Okay.
And I see her now, she works for BMW. And she's legendary in like Welsh women's football. And I always remember I was like a dut, like 8, 9 years old, and I used to see her always in football kit.
Right.
And always with like, can you remember? There's like a funny shaped Adidas bag. It just had the Adidas sign on it. And it was before your time, Dan. And
because you're in your late 50s.
Late 50s. Used to see her down on the bus, go in, and she'd be away and come back and say like what she'd been doing, and she liked me. Our families were close, but she loved me because I was into football. And she used to come back and do some drills with you and stuff like that. She was great, but like at that point, you would just think, because to me, growing up, women footballers was. Well, Wendy plays, right?
Yeah.
And she obviously plays with other women, so you see it from an early age, and it's just the norm.
Yeah.
But as you get older, and then you realise the politics that's involved in it, and like you hear things like, oh, the women didn't have kit, and they also have men's kit, didn't have proper travelling, didn't get paid, and you just think, what?
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? And it's because I think that's what I'm finding amazing about this tournament is that, so when I got round to buying like the new shirt for my daughter, my son was adamant that he wanted one as well.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that really shows where we've come,
And
even in the
wants
last
a girl's
5 years.
kit,
Yeah.
Because the colour's wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked is wicked, right?
Oh my God, isn't it? It's like a purple. And he looks good in it. And it's, but also the fact he's never questioned that we're supporting the women's team.
Yeah.
Not questioned the fact that we're going out to Switzerland, and it's. Whereas I do think even 5 years ago, I think he'd have felt a bit like, or maybe the boys in school would have said something, or you know.
Did you recognise like a shift in like a certain amount of years?
Yeah, so I think some things have happened, especially in Wales. So I think the success of the men's team has helped. Because the FAW, they've been very good at promoting both teams equally on socials and things like this. The fact that they only have one social...
They share the same platform, don't they?
Yeah.
On the likes of Instagram.
Yeah, so if you follow the men's team, you're going to get women's content as well, which I think it's a no-brainer really, isn't it?
Why would you separate them anyway?
Well, this is it. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
So now...
It's Welsh football.
Yes. Thank you.
That's-
You're saying all the right things.
No, it is though, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's a football match.
Yeah.
Like, people say to me, "Oh, do you watch the women's football?" Yeah. Like, oh, do you? Like, yeah, it's football.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's really helped. I loathe to say it, but I think the success of the England women's team has helped.
Yeah.
It was
And I'll
huge.
give them that.
Yeah,
You
You've got to give credit where
Yeah,
it's due, right? Because I had it with a few people who were going, oh, yeah, at the time, oh, they're never going to stop banging on it. And I said, well, you've got to think it's bigger than that, right?
Yeah.
You've got to think if you're Welsh, Northern Irish, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, and you see that, it almost puts pressure on your association to go and, well, what are you doing for women in Ireland, Scotland, Wales?
Totally.
So it just pushed it. I thought that was sort of like the breaking moment. All right, because I think everybody else had to get with the program because you've been bleating on about the men for so long. The women roll up, literally first tournament.
They play good football as well. They play
and I actually enjoyed.
Football.
I wasn't on the England Welsh thing. I was just on women. That's what I was on. That was the biggest thing. And that's why I said it was the fact that it was going to push all women now in every country. And I thought it was brilliant.
Well, and it is going to improve the quality of the game as well, because that's the thing. Because the argument like 10, 20 years ago was, it's just not as good a game. But if you're not doing the grassroots stuff, if you're not getting the sponsors, if you're not getting time to train, if you're not able to be professional,
how do you get better?
How are you get? Yeah, exactly. So it's all kind of cause and effect. And
I challenge anyone to just watch Jess Fishlock's best 100 goals and then tell me women can't do what the men can do. Tell you.
And do you know what's really interesting? I was reading an article about like fouling in the women's game, because I think when the women's game started to become popular, people were like, oh, but it's just a nicer game. It's a more polite game. Oh my God, some of the female players are dirtier than any of the men I've ever seen.
Mate, Kate McCabe, I'm not getting involved with that.
Listen, you go, I say, you think it's easy? Go watch netball. You think that's a women, it's nice and all. That's a rough sport, right? You've got to be tough to play netball.
Definitely.
That's a different sport, but just because it's women, you think, no.
Also, men's football's been Pep Guardiola to the nth degree. It's just exciting. You have got more attacking wingers. You've got faster play, as opposed to this chess-like management.
Don't get on chess. Who's your sport now?
But it's true. Like I watch it. So my fiance is a massive Lionesses fan. Which means I can't wait for when we play them. I'm going to be in Cheltenham with my Wales top on.
Hang on, you're not married yet, are you?
No.
You could be in separate houses at that time. You could have to find a second house. I'm doing up another one, Nate. Why? Well, she's moved.
Right, at the moment she's not really moving into the one we're doing that right now. It's a while for that. But she's a massive Lionesses fan, and the excitement she gets from it as well. And I get it, because the style of play is right. We get it out to those wingers. You have that flair in players, that attacking style. It's really exciting. Whereas sometimes in the Pep way, it is.
Well, I just think it comes in all shapes and sizes, Dav. That's the thing with sport. Like it's like athletics, right? My boys are sprinters. You know, some of them are like poetic when they run. Christian Malcolm, poetic.
It's almost as if they're floating.
Then Darren Campbell.
I feel like Christian Malcolm's always floating though.
But just like an absolute, a train. You know what I mean? So different techniques and different. I just recognize it and just say, don't get me wrong, you see some techniques on the track and you think, ooh, like you could do a bit of work or she could do the work. But generally, it's like, you just love it for the actual sport.
Well, in the athletics, have you seen the guy Gout? There's a guy at the moment, young as anything, called Gout, who's absolutely tearing it up in the sprinting. I think he's Aussie. And his style is chaos.
Like he's fighting,
And yet he's just unbelievably quick. I'll show you.
Is Carlo was training? No, I think that's a different kid.
I'm not sure, but he's getting a lot of coverage in Australia, but he's so incredibly fast that I reckon looking at it, he's going to be in the Olympics and probably fastest at some point, but he's chaos, which is very very fun to watch.
But it might help distract the other runners to the point where they can't even.
You might get the fingernail in the eye.
Five people finished the day because Gout was on the track.
And with Wales, obviously been a massive fan, and I'm very jealous of both of you. Come this weekend, both of you are going to be in Switzerland.
Really excited because because the first and last major tournament I travelled to was the Euros in 2016. And I was heavily pregnant then. I was like 5 months pregnant. The French don't care if you're heavily pregnant, you're drinking wine, you're eating soft cheese. I had a steak at one point that had blood all over it. I had the best time. My son is fine. If anything, he's the healthier of the two. And I took my daughter with me as well, and she was a really cranky 2-year-old. It was such hard work, and we went for 2 weeks, but loved it. Wouldn't have changed it for anything. So it's really nice to go now, and they're both older. They can carry their own fucking bags. That's the big thing. Yeah, exactly. And it's just really exciting for them as well. But then they're so blasé about it. Like, I still get really excited because I didn't grow up with all of this.
Yeah.
And for them, it's like, yeah, great. Like, they're more excited at the moment about going to, like, the Lint Museum.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, but we'll go watch the football as well. It's like, you don't understand how big this is.
Yeah.
But that's nice as well, I think. What are you doing out there?
I'm doing a bit for BBC.
Nice.
So it's been a lastminute.com. Someone's dropped out. Nate, can you step in?
Go on, who dropped out? Spill. Who can't be asked?
I don't know. Can you jump in and do bits and bobs?
Hartson. Hartson.
No. I didn't actually recognise the name when they said it. I just pretended like, oh, right, yeah. Oh, we'll see what we can do. But I'm going, yeah. I'm flying out Friday.
Nice.
But I'll be back Sunday. So it's just literally up, work, down.
Well, I've got to go and listen to my wedding band being read, which...
oh, mate.
That's why I can't make it. Sorry, guys.
Well,
I'm really looking forward to get my wedding bands.
Got to get the important things done first.
Yeah. When this marriage eventually ends up in divorce, you will regret.
As long as you don't have to pay the Church of Wales anymore, you have to pay them for divorce as well. My word, I had to pay them in cash as well.
So they're not declaring that, are they?
The hustlers
under the table.
You black hustler. No. Just play the brown envelope. No, I don't touch it. Give it to my associate.
So I won't be in Switzerland, but you guys that are on the 5th of July against the Netherlands, on the 9th of July France, and then on the 13th of July England.
The group of death, they call it.
Yeah.
But I like being the underdog, though. I much prefer.
There's no pressure.
Yeah, I'd much prefer to be us than England. I think the pressure on them now going into this as champions is insane. Yeah. I'd much rather this.
But they've done something, right? They've already won it.
Yeah.
And I think listening to certain reports, I think the problem is when you've not played the game and you're a reporter, you never stop wanting more. Do you understand what I mean? And as a player, you'll go to that tournament thinking, right, instead of the mind frame, we can win this, we got to win this again. Right? It's a totally different pressure. And I always say, like, if anything does for England women, that's what it'll be for me, is the outside noise pushing so much pressure, rather than saying, I'd be saying, relax.
Yeah.
You've won it. You've done what the men have been trying to do for the last, 60, 70 years. You've achieved it early doors with coming from where you've come from to where you are. Fantastic. Listen, we don't want to get knocked out in the first stage, but we get the quarters, the semis, and then we'll really start the goal push. I think, I think it's all about the mindset, me.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, Es. I think they're under major pressure, but I think it's because of the outside.
And it does, whether or not it's actually what's happening or not, it does look like the Wales team don't have that much pressure on you. Like, you see them in the pictures on the plane, you see them in there. I love it. One of the best things at the start of a tournament is when everyone's wearing the matching
Trackies.
They were in,
can I just say, they've got this amazing tailored, like,
got some beautiful kit, haven't they?
sleeveless top, like black
What
trousers.
they wore on the plane.
I want
With
one
the,
of
the
those.
gold trim.
Yeah.
it
I
looked
wish
wicked,
they
didn't
sold.
Really
I
smart.
wish
Yeah.
they sold them. Your son would be going for that.
I
if you walking around,
He'd look good in that as well.
if you walking around in his double denim like waistcoat, just going, "Mum, I'm the Welsh team."
Yeah, no, but genuinely, but again, maybe it's because this is uncharted territory, so they can do what they want. Really, they don't. There's no playbook here. They can
no
just.
precedent's been set.
Yeah, exactly. So if they want to change the design of whatever the team outfit is, they can do whatever they want. It's great.
No, they were rocking it, I have to say. I'm with you. They were rocking it.
Would you wear one of those?
I'd wear the top half.
Yeah.
I'd wear slacks with a...
I was going to say, please wear
gold top,
something.
gold fold,
Not just the
just the waistcoat.
please.
Yeah.
With my two left.
And then going to Switzerland, what are you going there for? Are you going there because it's an
Football.
experience of a lifetime? Are you going there because you want to see the whole thing? Is it to see
Well,
Wales win?
he's on the BBC gravy train. That's why he's going there.
I'm not.
I'm going because, well, for one thing, I wouldn't be able to watch the game at home. I'd be so nervous to watch that
Do you
first
get
game.
really nervous, do you?
Yeah.
See, I'm a complete opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you right up in front of the TV?
I've never really done nerves.
Oh, well, but then is that because you played?
Even as a player, never done nerves. Don't know why.
Were you never nervous? Was there no game where you really felt up against it?
I never thought to myself going into a game, you get these butterflies in your stomach. And I know people used to get them as we're going out or just for kick-off. I know players who used to throw up and stuff like that. I used to get nervous. Kick-off is 3 o'clock. I used to get a few butterflies about 1 o'clock. And then by 1:30, by the time I get to the ground,
Yeah.
I just switch into a different sort of
interesting.
mind frame. So I've never really done the nerves thing.
Do you have any rituals or anything?
No.
Always last.
That was my main thing.
Okay.
Was last. 'Cause I knew
Yeah.
some defenders were hoping that I wasn't playing. So then everyone come out and then you come out last and go, oh!
Okay, mess with their heads. Yeah.
I did that, but I always turn up first.
Which one of you want first?
Yeah, we've got this, guys. We've got this. That's really funny.
Yeah. So that was my only thing, really.
Yeah.
Just go out last.
Yeah.
But nothing else. It's
No. But then I'm the same with stand-up. I don't get nervous at all. Like, I used to when I started. But now I just I don't like to turn up early. So promoters will sometimes say, turn up like an hour before the gig. And I'm like, fuck off. I'm not going to just sit in a green room for an hour and just be building
To do
nerves
what?
that aren't there. Do you know what I mean? So I like to turn up, get on stage, leave.
Yeah.
Is there a different feeling, say, if you're like the last person on a show, or say you're
following someone
or you're
great.
or you're in
Or
front
someone's
of
just smashed it.
Yeah. It depends really, because if you're opening or closing, it means you're quite good. Because you need so as a headliner, you're going to be going last. That's who people have come to see. If you're opening, you need to be really good because you're the one setting the scene for the rest of the gig. If you do a bad job opening it, that's it. So they'll never put like novices on as like the opener. But then the pressure on the opener is quite big because you have to kind of. But I quite like it because I quite like it when audiences are quite fresh and nervous. Just go in for the
Nothing
kill.
worse than a comedian coming for you in the audience.
I-
It's like, I always say, like, don't fucking make any sense. What's your name? It's like, Rumi?
It's my worst.
Absolutely.
Because I usually ask if I can have like a roaming mic so I can actually get out into the audience.
Yeah.
Because I love that. That's my favourite bit.
Yeah.
Chatting to the audience.
And then I'd be nervous.
Okay, yeah.
She's coming. I'm going to the toilet.
How do you know when someone's? Do you just go roam around the audience? Do you just pick someone at random, or are there little like telltale signs when picking out people? Because you also don't want to go for the confident, Like,
well, it depends, because you don't want to fuel the fire either, because sometimes you got really cocky people in an audience and you don't want to give them time because it just takes over the gig then. So sometimes it's trying to shut those people down.
Hecklers.
Yeah, and the thing with hecklers to do is if it's constant, it's to turn the audience on them. Yeah, that's the trick. Because if you can make the audience think that this guy or this woman is ruining it for everyone else, then they'll shut up.
The old school public shaming.
Yes,
nothing quite worse.
Get him.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Yeah,
Steaks and all.
And do you have like a favourite place where you've performed, like a favourite club?
There's a lot of clubs in Bristol, actually, I really like. Bristol's a really great place for comedy.
Yeah. It's eclectic, Bristol, isn't it?
Oh, it's great, yeah. And audience get it, do you know what I mean? It's kind of, because I think in Wales, until quite recently, until maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, audiences in Wales didn't quite understand the process of stand-up either. So if you were trying new stuff, or if you had some notes with you to try new jokes, they just looked at you and were like, well, you haven't prepared. It's like, well, no, but this is part of the process. I haven't said these out loud yet. Yeah, exactly. Because Ellis James always talks about that, how people would be a bit with him, you know, look at him, he's you know, he hasn't really prepared for this.
I experienced that with the first time when I went to London. I went to Soho, and it was just a small comedy club with my cousin and his mate, and the comedians were one of them was doing going through stuff. Is there like a word for it when you kind of practicing?
It's like work in progress,
okay. Like a work in progress. And I sat there watching it. It was good, but every kind of 15 minutes, the comedian would look at my cousin's mate, going, good, and he just looked at it, and he's been quite good. Yeah, that one landed. Thanks very much. I'm like, are you part of this? Why do you have the accreditation to say if it lands or not? So yeah, it's good. Okay, thanks. I'll keep that in. Yeah. Because there was some stuff where she knew it was really good, and then some stuff she was obviously practicing, and then she'd just go to check with Duncan if it landed. Yeah, Duncan was keep that in. Like that.
But some people are really good at kind of working it into their sets as well. So Robin Morgan is really good at it. So he'll have notes on stage, and if something hasn't worked, he'll make fun of the fact it hasn't worked. So then it doesn't matter, because everyone feels like they've had a bit of a peek into what he's trying to do.
If it worked with one audience or didn't work with one audience, does that mean to say you were confident that it will work with a different audience?
No. No.
Because surely it's different.
Every audience is different. And things will affect how an audience reacts to you as well, like the weather, the time of year. Yeah. You know, maybe someone in the audience has had a bad day at work and they're there with someone. So if they're not enjoying themselves, the person with them isn't enjoying themselves. So then there's this pocket in the audience that aren't enjoying. You know, there are so many nuances. But basically, at the end of the day, if you're having a bad gig, it's usually your fault. Like, we can blame audiences as much as we want, but we should be good enough to be able to work.
Historically, who's your favourite stand-up comedian?
Oh my God.
Give me one male, one female.
Okay, so I think James Acaster is a genius when it comes to stand-up. I think he's changed the way stand-up works now. I think you see so many young men coming through on the circuits trying to be him.
Is it a performance, or is that him?
It's both. I mean, that's kind of...
I feel like I'm going into the magic circle here.
it's a bit who he is. There's a big element of that's who he is. But it's the way his brain works.
Sorry, I don't know James Inca.
You Google him later. Yeah. Because he's been on loads of panel shows and stuff as well.
Yeah.
He's quite quirky, but not inaccessible. Do you know
what I mean?
Yeah. Just look at Google now.
He's very, very, very funny.
Yeah, and I think so his trilogy on Netflix, so he has 3 shows on Netflix.
Repertoire.
Yeah. It's one of the most perfect comedy programs I've ever seen. Like, and I've watched it a few times, and the way he executes it, and just the topics he has, and again, being a bit obscure, but not making you feel like, oh, this is mad. You know, he's very personable.
Being slightly odd, but not to the point where you feel like you're out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then with female comedians, I mean, there's so many amazing ones at the moment. I really love. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Look him up on Netflix. He's really good. Watch it on the plane.
I
on the
will.
way.
I will. Yeah.
He'll be coming back going, Dav, every triangle's a love triangle when you love triangles.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but there's a dynamic. There's a difference in dynamic. So being like Welsh-born West Indian heritage on one side and the other side is a long story. Like,
that's another podcast, right?
Yeah. So it's, but like I watch like Richard Pryor is sort of like, because I get even though he's American, I get what he's saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Richard Pryor was incredible. Like I watched a lot of Richard Pryor when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the jokes either. It's his presence.
It's his delivery,
Yeah.
right? The way.
Yeah.
I mean, he set himself alight on fire and made a joke out of it, or made a whole stand-up sort of thing about it.
Yeah.
Like having a heart attack makes sure, like, and he's half dying, and the audience like, when you almost died that time, that was so funny.
Yeah.
But for him, you got to think to yourself, well, is that therapy or is it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is. I think most comedians, there's something wrong with us.
Yeah, because they fascinate me.
Genuinely,
comedians,
yeah.
because you're talking, you're laughing at something that really and truly at that time, you know, and you can say, we're telling the story and it's funny, right? But at the time, that shit was not funny.
Yeah.
We had an incident, I mean, it's nothing major, but we're in North Macedonia and one of the boys, I'll say no names, overslept. And North Macedonia don't do no flights back into Wales or Europe, very few. So it's a place you don't want to miss your flight because you'll be stuck there for a couple of days. And he was asleep and we were boarding. And he managed to catch the flight.
No.
15-minute taxi ride, 20 minutes. He managed to catch the flight. Now, when we're in the airport, it wasn't funny at all.
No, I bet.
But when he got on the plane, it was so funny.
Yeah. But then you would probably laugh out of relief then.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So humour and laughter are so intertwined with every other emotion.
Yeah.
Because I've laughed when I've been grieving before.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of
it
comes out.
Memories
it's like,
come back.
And it's like a release.
Yeah.
And you do it when you're nervous sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's a really complex emotion, I think, laughter and being funny. And out of interest, because I'm fascinated by different humour from different cultures and countries. What's the West Indian humour? What do West Indies people find funny?
I don't know. As a particular, I would say probably the dynamics in cultures between ourselves and white people.
Okay, yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah,
Even though there's
yeah.
a lot of interrelationship,
Yeah.
you know, some by your ancestors, which wasn't welcomed by our sisters.
Yeah.
But but you know, it's that difference. Like that's what I'm saying. What some of my friends, some of my white friends will find funny, like they could say, "I'm going to see Jimmy Carr,"
Right. Yeah.
and I would go, "Yeah." They don't like him. I'm like one of them. Like
Yeah.
Say, what, you know? I'd say, I'm getting Eddie Murphy Road tonight, and they're like, yeah. I like Beverly Hills Cop, but you know what I mean? It's like, man, don't be the stand-up there. You're just like, okay.
That's really funny.
So the culture difference. But then, like, I remember when I was younger, Jack D I used to love. And Lee Evans, like, just absolutely, even in films, he obliterates me. Like, you know. Have you ever seen the film Mousetrap?
Oh, yeah.
It was on TV the other day. I watched it for the first time the other day.
I absolutely adore that dude. So there's certain comedians.
Yeah.
But then I would say Sir Lenny doesn't really make me laugh. It's never really...
No, me neither. But then
I mean?
I think with him, I think it's more, I can see him for the importance of what he did maybe in the 80s to kind of trailblaze and maybe become more visible so other black comedians could.
But I did like his Lenny Henry when he was the chef.
Oh my God, I was about to say the same thing. I used to love Chef.
That's it.
It was called Chef.
I used to love
It was such
Chef.
a good
Because he had such a straight face and moody all the time. I was like, I love this program.
I think that's a really good thing to say about him because he's such a good actor because he's won awards.
Yeah. He's not just a comedian.
No, and I think in Chef, he was more of an actor than a comedian.
Yeah.
I love Chef. I've never met anyone else.
Yeah, no, I love Chef. I love it. Love it.
That's really funny.
We've kind of digressed.
Hey, that's the purpose. That's the purpose.
Football, I think.
Yeah, football.
No, so, and you were saying about favourite female as well. Who would you say is up there for you?
Oh my God. I really love, so there's a comedian called Jess Foster-Q. She's really funny. So what I find really funny about her is she's very loud and again quite physical. And I like seeing women be more physical and a bit more chaotic because I think traditionally a lot of female comedians had to look a certain way or be a certain way, but then you got some comics coming through like in the 80s like Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Seinfeld. I think really changed things for female comedians because she was obnoxious, she was dirty, she was rude.
Yeah.
She looked a mess sometimes, but she's still very sexy.
Yeah.
And she could hold her own with the men and stuff like this. And I love seeing women doing that. I love seeing them being loud and obnoxious when it comes to comedy. So yeah, there's loads of people. I think Catherine Ryan's doing amazing stuff at the moment. And there's a really great comedian actually from the Shetland Islands, Marilyn Robertson, and she's bringing in like different mythologies around like Scottish myths and legends and using like the Scottish language and stuff in her comedy. And she's great. Yeah. So there's well, I think whatever you're into comedy wise, there's something out there now.
Yeah, but I think I think it just goes down to the person.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like black, white, male, female.
Yeah.
I just think it's some things I watch I find totally funny.
Yeah,
Other things. What's the Fleabag, was it?
Oh yeah.
Like I found that hilarious.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Like that looking at the camera, the old Eddie Murphy. Looking at the camera like I'd be an absolute rocket.
I find it fascinating with humour as well because it could be, there's some situations, and I'm very aware of this, I am not funny. And that's so okay.
Interesting.
I would say I'm not a funny person. I make funny people funnier because I laugh a lot as well. Like, however...
Laughers are important.
I know, well, we are arguably
in the
most
crowd,
important.
always in the crowd now.
Yeah, we are the most important thing. I make you hilarious. But I wouldn't say I'm a funny person at all. Like, in work, I'm not funny. In certain circumstances, I'm not funny. However, with my group of friends, with my family especially, I am like, I would say I'm probably one of the funny ones.
Yeah.
Like, my fiance, at times, she's really funny, but then other times people are like, oh, she's the really kind, sweet girl. But she's weird.
Yeah. But you're often, just in general in society though, you're different things to different
people.
Exactly. And I think it's interesting the thing you're saying about family and being funny with friends or family, because you'll have completely different references with your siblings, for example. Because me and my siblings, we will laugh at stuff that no one else would get. And they're based on really obscure stuff that happened when we were really young. And we still laugh about them. Yeah. And stuff like that, there are nuances to
I've
that
got
as well.
my best friend since we were nippers. So there's things that can happen and we could be in the most serious of places.
Yeah.
And he'll just do this under the table, knock me like that. And he'll know just that one knee knock. Because he'll know I'm fighting it. As soon as I'm looking, I'm fighting it. And he'll just knock me like that.
Yeah.
Or he'll just look at me and just give me a little eyebrow raiser. But
Oh yeah, my best friend in high school, she used to be the same, but she'd do it with her elbow because we'd be sitting next to each other in class. And she'd just go like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. And then we'd just be like fighting each other, like elbows going into one another, trying not to laugh. But those things are the best though. Absolute best.
That no one else gets. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Esyllt, thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing. I've loved it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, you'll have to we'll come on to your
always-
podcast. You do a podcast, you say?
You're inviting yourself onto my podcast.
Of course, yeah. I'm allowed to do that. I might. Well, it depends if you send a car.
You want catering as well, right?
Absolutely. I get it all the time at Cardiff City Stadium.
Okay, sure.
But thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining us.
thank
You've
you.
honestly
No,
you've been a delight.
Brilliant.
And you're welcome to join us anytime.
I'd love to.
And it might be nice even to get you on with us more times after like Wales women's games as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Or
But
a big
you're
show.
Always.
What's the big show?
If you're doing a big show.
Oh, my big
come
show.
on,
Yeah. Have you got any
talk about
shows coming up
Lined
kind of
up?
in
Oh,
the
yeah,
future?
that's true.
Yeah.
Come on, this is advertised to the people.
What have I got going on?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got dinner tonight.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, it's more the podcasts. So I've got 2 podcasts. One is called I'm So Not Over It, which I do with a comedy writer, Gareth Gwynn, and it's about recent history. So it's about history from 1977 up until now.
Yeah.
So it's history that we might all remember.
Yeah.
But we might remember it incorrectly and stuff like this. It's really fun. And then I do another podcast with the comedian Kiri Pritchard McLean called Pod of Wales, where we basically get to travel around Wales and stay in nice places and do nice things. And
Okay. So I'm a jolly up there. yeah. I like that.
Oh well, thank you so much for joining us,
No,
and we
thank you.
look forward to next time we can do this with you.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.